Morning, everyone. Can you type in the chat if you can hear me? I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me all right. And then also to make sure that the chat is working because I want to be able to highlight those chats. Let's see. Should be working. Uh, there you go. All right. You can hear clearly. Sita is here. How are you doing? Well, take 30 seconds for you to actually type the chat again. So I'm going to try to highlight you. Let's see. Seems working fine. Very good. All right. Guru is here. I'm going to highlight Guru. All right. So it's working. Very good. Where are you guys tuning in from? I know Sita is here. Um, Guru, you're still here. I'm pretty sure you're still in the US, right? Yeah. I'm from Pakistan. Okay. Rizwan is in Pakistan. Very good. Seems like everything's working well. Um, I usually wait for about like 4-5 minutes until we start. Just wait for people to coming in, rolling. Um, can you tell me in the chat how many of you has submitted the ERAS? Okay, how many of you have submitted the ERAS? Just say whatever. Yes, I did submit, or maybe you haven't submit, then you can mention I haven't submit my ERAS yet. You did, Sita did. Okay, all right. Yes, yes. Sartak submit 105. Okay, you did submit. All right, cool. Submitted. So most people apparently already submit. Yeah. But even though if you haven't submit the ERAS yet, you don't have to really worry about it because the program can only start seeing the applications starting from October 1st. Yeah, I believe that's the case. So you still have time and you're still gonna be in the early batch. But most people apparently already submit the ERAS. Okay, now the next question. Okay, we have like 3 minutes before we start. The next question: how many interviews do you think you're gonna get? This given number, because usually people know how competitive they are if they're being honest to themselves. Right, if they're being honest, you can kind of like feel, I think I can get this amount of interview. Roughly say 5-6. Very optimistic. Very good. 5-5. Yes, yes, good. 5. Well, 5 apparently is a magic number. The thing is, 3 to 5, Guru, I think you're gonna have Sartak gonna have 105. Oh, sorry, 105 ish. Okay, all right, cool. So most people anticipate they're going to get about 3 to 5 interviews, which I would say that should be enough. That's definitely enough. Yeah. 5-6, yeah, that's a good number. I think 3 is a good number, but I mean, in this webinar, even if it's just one, you should be able to match. I'm gonna explain that. That's the whole point of this webinar today. Okay. All right. Like, let's see. One more minute, then we're going to start. Seems a lot of people quite optimistic. They got at least 3. I haven't seen anyone feeling like I think I'm just gonna get 1 or close to none. Yeah, very good. All right. Um, before the signaling era, I mean, I apply before the signaling era, we can get a lot of interviews because the programs does not know whether the applicants are interested in their program. You see what I mean? They only can see the qualifications. Oh, this person is qualified, and therefore I should invite the person for the interview. There is no signaling, and that leads to a high number of interviews, which is pretty good for us. We have a lot of safety net, but because of the signaling, the number of the interviews goes down. But it doesn't mean that it reduces your chances. It just becomes more focused. I'll put it that way. You're more focused. All right, it's 8:05, so we're gonna get started. All right. So the webinar today, and which I think I promise you that I will deliver an interview related webinar, right? And this is it. This was when I did my personal statement webinar. Why and how you can match with any of number of interviews, even if it's just one. The agenda today, and it's not gonna take that long. It's 1 hour tops. I did a dry run yesterday. It took me like about 40 minutes, with a little bit an awkward pause and silent when I'm waiting for you guys to answer some of my questions. That probably, yeah, extra 10, 15 minutes. You know? So I'm not gonna take a lot of your time. It's gonna be 1 hour at the most. Okay. Now, the agenda. These are the three things we're going to talk about today. There's three reasons why you can match with any number of interviews, how you can match with any number of interviews, and how I can help you achieve that, which is going to be my offer. Yes, as in exchange of the information I'm giving you today, I'm going to give you my offer at the end. Right. So let's start with the first question here. Is it possible to match with one interview? Well, obviously the answer is yes. If not, why I would make this a webinar from the first place, right? The answer is yes. And there are three reasons why you can still match with small number of interviews, 3, 5, 5 is actually pretty good. It's not small, but if it's 3 or less, it's small number of interviews. But even if it's just one, you can still match it. There's three reasons why. First reason, it has been done before. I have a lot of people have done it before. I have students over and over again only have a small number of interviews and they can still match. I even have a student who failed step 1, failed step 2, and then only got like 1 interviews and still can match. So statistically it's possible. Now if you ask, well, what about compared to like having a 5 or 7 interviews? Of course it's going to be lower. It's obviously going to be lower, but it's not that low. It's not as low as you think it happens. And also the reason why it can happen is the reason number 2 and 3. Okay, the reason number 2 is because when you are invited for the interview, you are already qualified in the eyes of that program. So you've done a lot in this journey, right? You did the rotations, you did your USMLE, you got your letter of recommendations, you did publications, you write your personal statement, getting the letter, and all of those is qualified in the eyes of the program when you get invited for the interview. Because if you think about it, why would the program extend an interview to somebody that's not qualified from their perspective, from their standpoint? It doesn't make sense, just gonna waste their time, right? There's no way that's gonna happen. I know that because there is data backing that up, and also, I've done my residency and my program director said the same thing. We're not going to invite somebody who we are not interested in or who is not qualified from our standpoint. So it's not possible. So that would mean that even getting one interview itself is already a big achievement. Now, I don't know how many of you have seen this graph before. This is from the program director survey. And I'm gonna use, maybe I'll use blue this time. Okay, so out of, let's say, 924 applications as received by the program, only 124 got the interview. So you're being screened heavily over here, maybe because of the scores, maybe because of the LOR, maybe because of the number of publications, maybe because of the number of rotations, whatever that is, you being screened, and then you being invited for interview, and there's going to be heavy screen over here. See how it's a big achievement already, okay, when you're being invited to the interview. And then most of the one that get interview will be ranked, and that's the amount of positions filled. But it showed how it has been qualified in the eyes of the program if you got the invitation for the interview. Interview itself already a big achievement. Okay, so that's reason number 2. Now, when we get into the rank part to here, there is one more reason that makes you possible to match even with small number of interviews. And the third one is because the match algorithm is on your side. Now, in order for us to understand, I think I've shown this to some people who did mock interview with me, and so if you know the answer already, you probably can stay silent. This is probably for people who hasn't answered or haven't seen this question before. Okay, so try this question and see how much you understand the match. Okay. You went for an interview in XYZ hospital, whatever the name is, internal medicine program. This program has 6 spots for internal medicine. This program ranked you number 6. At the end of the interview season, let's say you had like 10 interviews total. You rank XYZ program as number 10. What would be the outcome of the match? A, you will definitely match this season. B, you won't match because you rank XYZ number 10 while they rank you number 6. C, you will definitely match at XYZ. D, you won't match at XYZ, but you will match somewhere else. E, there's no way for us to know based on this information alone whether you will match. Now type in the chat what is the correct answer you think. I'm going to move on to the chat and then let's see. Now I wish YouTube streaming has a vote ability, because people are gonna be kind of like affected when there's a lot of people answering the same thing and they feel, oh, maybe I get this one wrong. I should probably change my answer. So, but no. But apparently a lot of people have been pretty honest and not affected by other people who give an answer early, right? There you go. Very good. Wow, we got an active participant today. You know, they very active. They typing and give their answer. Very cool. All right. So we have. Let me see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right. So most of you pretty much have a good idea of the match algorithm, which is very good, but some of you don't, which is great. That means I give you some good information today. You learned something today. Okay. The answer is A. You will definitely match this season. The reason is because the match algorithm is applicant proposed, not the program proposed. So it's gonna be kind of long for me to explain on how the match algorithm works, but trust me, A is the correct answer. Which means you just have to be ranked. If we go back over here, you just have to be ranked between number 1 to 9 if the positions are 9 positions. Some residency program can be a little bit big. Maybe there are 20 positions, 30 positions. That means you have to be just ranked between 1 to 30, and then you should be able to match. Now, even if you miss a little bit, let's say you're not 1 to 30, maybe 1 to 35, 1 to 40. Not all of those 30 people will kind of rank this particular program high, and they probably can match somewhere else. Another point that I want to make, okay, is if you have small number of interviews, what does that tell you? Very simple. It tells you that you're not as competitive. Now, in these days and era, there is possibility that you just waste your signals. You just flung your signals completely. You give the signals to the programs that are not qualified in their standpoint. Let's say the cutoff program, the cutoff score is 250, you are 230, and you feel like you want to apply there, and then you give signal there, and there's no point. You just waste the signal. That is just an obvious reasons, okay? But there are other things, like if the programs require you to have a hands-on USC for 3 months, if the programs require you to have 5 publications, if the programs require you to have all letter of recommendations coming from the US, and there are so many qualifications from the program itself that makes you unqualified, and you give signal to that program, and then they don't invite you for an interview, and then you waste that. Okay, so that's a different story, okay? But assuming you signal correctly and you learn correctly, and you still get that not that high amount of interviews, you get a small number of interviews, that actually mean that you just not as competitive. But when you get invited for an interview, 1 or 2 interviews, that actually means the program that invite you is not going to be so highly competitive program either. Does that make sense? Right? So now you are competing with pretty much, if you want to say as a competition, you're going to be competing as people who pretty much about have the same qualification as you. Now, if it's just so happen that there are people who are a little bit overqualified, let's say they have more USC than you, they have more publications than you, and such, then if the program sees them as, oh, you are more competent, and then they rank them high, these people more likely, gonna rank the other programs higher, higher as well, because they are already highly qualified for the other programs. You see, so you don't actually have to be like, if it's 30 spots, you be in 1 out of 30. That would be great. That would be your aim. But even if you miss a little bit, those people going to rank the other positions high. So you're not going to worry about, oh, but that other people will have like higher score than me or more USD than me. No, those people who are like too much of a highly qualified, they're probably going to rank and then be matched for somewhere else that is not that is higher in the competition, that is match to their level of competitiveness. So at the end of the day, it's like a randomized controlled trial where there's only one factor that's changed and the rest of the comparable risk factors would be pretty much the same, right? That's what randomized controlled trial is, right? One is the intervention, the other one is a placebo, and the rest, the risk factors, whether the age, whether they're diabetic, whether they're hypertensive, they're all comparable, and there's only one factor that's different, so we can see if that actually makes a difference. This is the same thing. You will compete with people who has pretty much similar qualifications with you, right? Similar letter number of letter, number of rotations, number of publications, right? It's gonna be the same. The only one factor that really stands out and make the difference between you and the other applicants would be the interview. And I have believed that's the case. I used to believe that's the case. I've been told that's the case. I change my mind a little bit at the middle, and then I come back to believe that is the truth. And a lot of instructor and mentor will say the same thing, that the scores and then the CV, etc., will get you the interview, but at the end of the day, the interview is going to be the one that gets you the job, that gets you to be ranked high, right? Right. So now you know that you can definitely match even with one interview, small number interview. The next question is how. So you only need these 3, okay? First, you need to know what to say. Learn and master what to say, which is the content. When they ask you a question, tell me about yourself. Why do you want to come to the US for residency? Why you need to choose you over the other candidates? How do you see yourself 10 years from now? Oh, tell me about your research. Oh, tell me about the time when you have a difficult patients. And all these questions, you need to know how to answer them, what to say. Look, there is no right or wrong answer in the interview because the interview is subjective. There's no right or wrong answer, but there is appropriate and inappropriate answer. And there is a weak answer and there's a strong answer. You need to know how to give a strong answer. You need to know what are the answers to those questions, the best answer to those questions. So learn and master what to say. And a lot of, if you go to YouTube, wherever, interview preparations, they'll teach you this, right? There's a list of questions. They usually ask pretty much the same questions. And they're gonna tell you, what is the answer supposedly for those questions. They give you a sample answers and all those. So they kind of tell you what to say, what's the content. It's heavily geared toward this. Now, the second thing that's also important is learn and master how to say it, the delivery. Learn and master how to say it. Now, here's the thing. Let me sip it because it feels very dry. Learn and master how to say it. So the delivery. This is one that lack emphasis on a lot of people who is teaching about the interview. The delivery. How to say it is very, very important. Now, I'm going to share with you some people, maybe some of you already know about this one, but I'm figure a lot of people don't know about this. So I'm going to share it with you. Very, very powerful. Half-minute study. It's an old study. It's a social psychology study. I put the name of the authors here to give the credit of who did the study. It's a half-minute study. So this is what happened in the study, okay? The study enrolled teachers, professors. The researchers create 30-second short clips video of them teaching in the classroom, but they put a twist. The sounds completely turned off. No sound. No sound at all. Then these videos are shown to strangers and have them rate the teacher based on facial expressions, gestures, eye contact, etc. All the nonverbals, obviously all the nonverbals, because, well, you can't hear anything, right? So the actual students then rate the teacher at the end of semester. The results are then compared. And the results, these snap judgment, based only on the body language, closely match the actual end of semester evaluations from the students who had spent months in the classroom. It's match. One is completely sound turned off, only 30 seconds. They gave the rate, and then the result is the same as the students, right, that spend a whole semester with the teachers. Now, this study is being replicated and has been done before with a different one. This is another one. Nonverbal cues in the employment interview, links between applicant qualities and interviewer judgment. So in this case, it's an interview. So 34 actual job interviews. They videotape it, and then a panel of 18 experienced interviewers was shown short, soundless clips from each interview, same like before. So there is no sound, and then they review based on the nonverbal, and they found the most hireable candidate was the one who actually got the job. So based on these two studies, it tells you this fact that the delivery is just as important as the content. Delivery is as important as the content. Like how long people spend on, okay, what's the answer to tell me about yourself? What's the answer when these are really important, but have you, consider how you sit, how the camera position is, how you're gonna use your hand, how's your smile, and then how's your, all the body language, all the focal image. Delivery is just as important as the content. So it's how you say it. It's how you say it. Okay. So now these two will pretty much get you a very, very big chance. If you know what to say and if you know how to say it, it will get you a high chance to get the to be ranked high and then match. But you cannot really match with some small number of interviews without this last one. Now, I want to give the chance in the chat, type in who can guess the last key. Because, yeah, who can guess the last key? I did actually create a video about this. So if you watch this video, I think I released it about 2-3 weeks ago, then you would know the answer. So who knows the answer? What's the last key? I'm going to take a sip to avoid awkward silence. Well, smile is related to the nonverbal behavior. Yeah, so it's part of the delivery. Letter of interest, too practical. No, that's not it. And you're talking about the interview, you see. Somebody mentioned it's very, very close. Sartak already know the answer. Yes, I'm gonna highlight you. Yes, Sartak got it correctly. The program fit. That's the last key. Ensuring program fit. Look, you can be very great at delivery, you know your answer, but if imagine you applying to, let's say, my program, right? St. Francis Hospital, it's a community program, and you say, oh wow, I really love being here. My goal in 10-15 years is going to be a cardiologist. I want to do this clinical based research. I want to work in the tertiary center, okay, and then I want to do ECMO every day. Then Dr. Friedman cannot give you what you want. It's that simple. I mean, you're great. You're a great person. You're great candidates, but I just can't give you what you want. So they won't rank you high. You see? So it's like dating, right? Oh, you're too nice for me. You should look for someone else. So this is pretty much what happens. So if you give the answers and you deliver it well, you still have to tailor it to the program to show that you fit the program. Now, if you have a lot of number of interviews, usually you just deliver, and somebody at one program usually will just resonate with you eventually, right? But because our topic right now is how to match with small number of interviews, if it's even just one, and with any number of interviews, 5, 7, because I've seen people who, actually, one of my colleagues there years ago, have like 7 interviews and didn't match, and didn't still having 7 interviews and didn't match. And this is a problem usually with the program fit. So you want to make sure that you tailor your answer to the program. If you only have a small number of interviews, that is the one that will increase your chance. All right. So those are the 3 things. Now, this for summary, you just need to know what to say, right? The content, delivery, how to say it, and tailor it to the program. That's it. With all those 3, you will be able to ace the interview. But again, the question is how. How do I know what to say? How do I know what's the best answer is? How do I know this is a strong answer? How to master the delivery? How do I know? How do I research the program and then maximize the program fit and leverage them? Right? How do you do the research? So that is where I come in. That's my offer. Okay, I can help you achieve these 3. And this is going to be my offer. The name of the course is the exact name of the webinar today, Match with One Interview. That's my residency interview course. The goal of the Match with One interview is to master the skills that I just mentioned to you, especially for non-US IMG, so you can match with any number of interviews, even if it's just one. Okay. I'm going to deliver this 3 days live. Going to be next week, October 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 7 p.m., 8 a.m., 8 a.m. And October 3rd is a Friday, so I'm working during the day. So I can only do it at night. But 4th and 5th, I'm not working, so we'll do it in the morning, just like this time. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 3 days. I anticipate this one would be probably 1 hour. The second day would be longer. I predict it's probably 2 hours, and then the last day is just 1 hour. Okay, so what's inside the course? So, well, those 3, the knowing what to say. Now, how do we achieve to know what to say, giving the best answer? Very simple. Frameworks. Use frameworks. Frameworks works. But not template. A lot of people giving a template answer. Oh, this is the template, you follow it. That's become very, very robotic, not personalized, not stand out. You're not going to be memorable. Forget about it. Don't use template. But frameworks will work, because frameworks comes with a fundamental concept and can be applied over and over again as long as you apply the same concept. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I ask you, tell me about this particular research, right? Now, the framework for this, because I've asked these questions when during the free mock interviews, usually non-US IMGs and all over the place. Oh, yeah, that study is about this, and we found that the result was this, and I was doing collecting this data and all those. Oh yeah, it was published in this. This is good all over the place. There is no structure. Tell me about research is very, very simple structure. Look, this is gonna be the frameworks. Okay, background, contribution, result, impact. I'm gonna give you an example. We're gonna make something up here. Okay, so bear with me. I didn't do this study. I just made up on the go. So let's say it's about checking magnesium level in patient with myocardial infarction. Okay, so we're doing this study to check the magnesium level on patient with myocardial infarction, because we found that a lot of people who have myocardial infarction will have a lot of arrhythmias, and it seems that this low magnesium level correlate to the amount of arrhythmias they got, and then probably related to their mortality as well. So we did that research. My contribution on that research was, and you mentioned the contribution, right? I analyzed the data, or preparing manuscript, or collecting the patients, or doing chart review, whatever the contribution is. And then you mentioned, well, we found that at the end of the study that the low magnesium is related to whatever that is, 30-day mortality or more amount of arrhythmias when we compare to people with a normal magnesium level. And then we finally able to publish that in this journal. And then as a result, we start putting in the protocol in my hospital that we're checking the magnesium levels every single time. And then we're proud that we can reduce the amount of arrhythmias happen, or mortality, or whatever you mentioned, impact. And then we hope that in the future we can probably do this, whatever study that you want to create that's related to that. There you go. That's the frameworks. It's very, very, structured and clear. Now imagine I'm gonna give you all these frameworks. Okay, during that match with one interview. I'm gonna give you all the frameworks for every common and uncommon interview question. So you walk out of the 3 days live, you know exactly what's going to be the strong answer. I'm gonna give you frameworks for tell me about yourself, why we should choose you over the other candidates, how you see yourself 10, 15 years from now, what is your weakness, all the frameworks for that. All right, and now you know how to answer them, like, and give a strong answer. All right. Now, the second part is the delivery. How we achieve the delivery? Well, these are basically non-verbal, which is cues, body language, and then focal image. But before that, I want to emphasize one more important thing. Okay. Basic question. Is the interview subjective or objective? Now, I don't think you need to put in the chat here. It's going to be a waste of time because I know you're going to say it's subjective. Obviously, it's subjective. Here's the thing. Subjective equals emotion. Yes, subjective equals emotion. And basically, before that, sorry, I passed it too much. Basically, it's the feeling that makes you makes an interviewer rank you high. And actually, that is pretty much what a lot of motivations of a human beings to do really anything. Okay. The emotion and the feeling is the reason why you do anything. This is what Myron Golden said. The only reason why people do anything is because they feel like it. The only reason why you sit down in front of the computer or your desktop or your laptop or your mobile device or whatever device you're using right now and watch me because you feel like doing it. The reason why I'm sitting down right here and deliver you, even though we like to use our rations to think, oh yeah, because I enjoy teaching people, I want to help people. But at the end of the day, it's because I feel like doing it. And the same thing for the interviewer. The only reason why that interviewer, why the program directors wants to rank you high, because they feel like doing it. They just feel like ranking you high. And I'll tell you what, okay? The interpersonal skills, okay, is the one that is the factor that determine that. Okay? The interpersonal skills, number 1, 2, and 3. This is based on the DNRMP data. Okay, look, interpersonal skills, interactions with faculty, feedback from current residents, and other interactions. It's all interpersonal skills. Okay? So it's not actually what you say, but how you say it that plays into the emotion of the interviewer. It's actually the how to say it. The delivery is the one that creates that subjective feeling, create the interviewer would like to rank you high. So in this, the great thing about this is that it's skill that we can all learn. Yes, it's a skill that we can all learn. And so in the Match with One interview, I want to teach you that. I'm going to teach you the essential body language, the nonverbal skills, and the focal image that would make the interviewer like you and trust you. And it's not going to take a lot of time. You just need to know the essentials one, and then you can practice it only for a couple of days, and you should be able to do that. That's it. And then by doing that, and we'll play into the emotion, it's because it's a subjective evaluation, right? And they'll feel like ranking you high. It's that simple. It's that simple. All right. The last one is the program fit. In the program fit, look, I'm going to mention this one thing here. In the free mock interviews, because I conduct a lot of free mock interviews. You know the one questions that every non-US IMG got it wrong when I did the free mock interviews is this question: why do you apply to this program? Now you might think that, well, it's not fair, Dr. Haryadi, because in the mock interviews there is no program. Well, during my mock interview there is program because most of you are applying for internal medicine. So I mentioned to them that you're going to apply to my program because I know my program the best because I graduated from that program, right? St. Francis Hospital. You can just research on that, look at the website, learn about the program, because I'm definitely going to ask you questions about it. But they still either not researching them, right? Because it's a free mock interviews, they don't care. Or even if they research them, the answer is pretty much nonsensical. So this is the question that every non-US IMG got it wrong. And to the point that I don't feel like I want to ask this question because they're gonna get it wrong anyway. It leaves me to believe that a lot of non-US IMG does not use the number three, the ensuring program fit, to match. They actually rely on the number of interviews they got and deliver it as good as possible. And some of the program just happen to resonate with them, and then they're able to match. But they never really try to maximize the fit to the program, which I think is understandable because you never done any US residency training before. Probably some people only just rotate in the private clinics. Some people rotate. If you're lucky, you can get an exposure in a university hospital or some residency program, but it's only like 1 month, right? You don't see the whole thing. You don't know what it's like training residency program, what the structure is, so you don't actually know what you're looking for. So it actually makes sense. But here's where I come in, right? So I will teach you live on how to research the program. So during that 3 days live, on the third day, we're gonna look at the program website, and I'm gonna show you what's unique about this program, what's interesting about that, what's the faculty, and all this I'm gonna show you, and you can use that information to personalize your answer and maximize the program fit. Everything will make sense after the 3 days. Once you know what to say, how to say it, and maximize and do the research of the program, everything will come together and make sense. Oh, this is the best answer that I can give when they ask this question, and this is how I deliver it, etc. Everything will make sense, right? Now, one last thing, I'm gonna give you the full checklist that you can use to practice with anybody. The checklist is gonna be quite long. I believe practice not make perfect, but perfect practice make perfect. This is a quote from the online method, which I completely agree. If you play a piano and then you learn playing the piano, you don't want to just randomly, try to speed up. You're gonna press the key slowly, make sure you get it right, then you speed up. So you start slow and then you speed up faster because you want to practice perfectly. You know exactly where the keys gonna go, and then you speed it up. Same thing here. There's no point for you to keep practicing while you're not actually sure what's the right way and what's not the wrong way. With the full checklist, it's gonna show you this is the framework, okay? This is the delivery. I'll tell you what is the essential body language and then etc. And you just have to check that, okay? And then the tailoring to the program fit. More than it will be very, very extensive, very, very specific, and you can use that as a feedback to your partner practicing with anyone, okay? So you can practice with anybody with this, and then you can continue practicing, perfect it, okay? More iterations, and then yeah, ultimately you can match with one interview. So you walk out from the course knowing exactly what to say, how to say it, maximize program fit, and ultimately you can match even with one interview. So that's the offer. This is the structure of the 3 days live that I'm going to do next week. In day 0, I recommend you to create and submit your video. It could be tell me about yourself. It could be anything. It doesn't matter. It could be why you want to come to the US. This is just going to be a pre-course video, okay? And then we're going to look how it will change, how it transform at the end. And then this is basically the structure, the topics that I'm gonna deliver to you in day 1, 2, and 3. As you can see, day 2 is quite long. I anticipate probably gonna take 2 hours over here. Okay, and day 3 we'll just closing it with the researching the program. All right. So then come to the biggest question. Biggest question: how much is gonna cost? Now I'm going to ask you, because I like to ask this question: how much do you think this course worth to you? Give me a number. $1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 500, 50, or nothing. How much do you think this course worth to you? Now I'm gonna pause, wait here, and see how many people responded. There has to be like 3, 4, 5 people that actually put a number in of the price. How much you think is worth it? Knowing what to say, how to say it, and researching the program, so you can match with even small number of interviews. So give me a number. To avoid awkward silence, I'm gonna take a sip. And maybe talking about some random stuff. One person say 350, the other say $200. Okay, we got. Give me. I'll wait for 2 or 3 more. Um, for people mentioning the price, $2,000. Mhm. 100. Thank you. Milan say $200, $400, $200. Well, thank you for the participations. I think we got 3, 4, 5 people, and then just I think it should be enough people to mention then. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna refill the price. All right. Right. So the price is $297. I think this is makes sense. I think where it lands, right? A lot of people say 300, 400, right? So it's going to be $297. But but um, because this is going to be the first time I launch it, and you're gonna be the one that first receive this. I'm very excited actually sharing this. This is gonna be my whole knowledge related to interview and communication, interpersonal skills for the past decades that I learned. It's a beta launch, so it's not gonna be $297. I cut it down to just $97. That's it, 97. And with that $97, you get everything that I just mentioned. Everything that I just mentioned. The frameworks, the essential body language, the focal image, mastering that, mastering the delivery, right? And then the maximum program fit, the researching the program, everything that I just mentioned to you for $97. 3 days live. You joined me 3 days live. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. 97. But I think it's a steal. I mean, you submit you how much you spend for the US applications, thousand bucks or so, right? Yeah, yeah. And you add another $97. That's it. It's a steal, and you got all of those things that I just mentioned, right? Right. So I do have the other offer, which is the premium offer. If you're interested, okay, it's gonna be $497. With this, you get the lifetime access to comprehensive communication interpersonal skills for non-US IMG. Now, so actually, the Match with One interview course is part of comprehensive communication interpersonal skills. I just repackaged them into the Match with One interview, just the intro module. So originally, there are like 6 modules total in the comprehensive communication skills. That is the for non-verbal, verbal mastery, cross-cultural communication, relationship management, interview, and patient care. And patient care over here involves like discussing goals of care or handling difficult patients, and all these multiple related breaking bad news. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you all that. That's comprehensive communication interpersonal skill. This is lifetime value. Like as long as you become a clinician, it will always be worth it to you. I just repackaged just the interview part of it, okay, and then give you this. But if you want to know the whole thing, it's right there. You can get it for $497. Now, if you've been following me, and whether that's in YouTube or you attend with some of my webinar, this or the previous webinar, the personal statement webinar, or for you who rotate with me in the clinic, and you feel like and a lot, I got a lot of compliment, and thank you for that. Appreciate it. Saying that they love me listening to me talking. I know my wife loves listening me to talk, listening me talking. And then if you see me talking to patients, right, and you enjoy seeing me communicating with patients, and you pick up a jokes or two, which is very very important when you do rotations with me. You pick up a joke or two, and you like how I talk to the patient, communicate with the patients, and you are wondering, how can I do that? Can I get better at talking? Can I be like you? This is it. This is the course. This course will help you how to be able to communicate pretty much. I bring you to my level. I mean, there is still, sky is the limit, okay? My coach, my focal coach, communications coach, my business coach, they're just so good, so good at talking, right? I mean, compared to them, if you watch Demon Slayer, they're Hashira. They're Hashira, I'm just Suguko, you know? But at least I can bring you, you should watch Demon Slayer, it's cool. basically, I just bring you to my level. And I think even to get to my level, it's ready enough for you to match. And it will be very, very useful for you during your practice as a clinician. So that's the comprehensive communication interpersonal skills for IMG. Now, you will also get the recording of those live webinar, the 3 days live. The regular offer does not have the recording. You just have to come live. Okay, so that's one perks. You also get 1 hour one-on-one mock interview with me, and spots are limited, obviously, because my time is limited. Okay. And you get the exclusive access to Match with My interview community. You get unlimited question and answer and support throughout your process, this interview process, this matching process here. I'll dedicate 30 minutes a day from Monday to Friday to respond to the questions. So you can, it's like a private group, kind of a private Facebook group, but it's in Kajabi, and it will be just you, right? And you can ask any questions you want. Maybe you have some specific questions. People always have questions afterward, maybe about the program. Is it a better answer? You want my feedback? Okay? And I will answer that inside the community. You can ask questions. I'll dedicate 30 minutes a day, Monday to Friday, respond to questions. So those are the extra benefits of the premium offer. Now, of course, it's not going to be $497 because this is a beta launch. I'm just gonna give it for $297, and that's it, $297. Okay, I think I have 2 more slides after this, and just letting you know that those discount only last until midnight, which I believe we only have about 15 hours. Now, you can check the email, okay? You can check the email, and in that email, there should be 2 of those offers. There's 2 links where you can make the purchase, okay? 2 links that makes the purchase. Um, and yeah, I believe it's you can check, make sure you check the promotions tab or your spam and all those stuff, and then you can click that, and you can make the purchase. Now, I will also paste in the chat here, so you can also use that to purchase. 1 second, let me grab that. Where is it? Okay. Okay, let's see. Where should I put in the chat there? Go to live streaming. There you go. All right, cool. So this is gonna be the regular offer. Okay. And then I'm gonna give you the premium offer checkout. Like right here. This one gonna be the premium one. All right. So I put that in the chat. You can use that. Click that, and yeah, you can make the purchase. Only lasts until midnight for the discount. Okay, and then we're gonna start next week. Now, another thing that's outside the slide, I just happen to remember it. Look, I did all of this myself. Okay, I don't have employee. Right? I mean, I have a green card, so I don't need to have an employee to work for me. I don't have any employee. I do everything by myself, and this is the first time I launch it. This is a beta launch, and that is why you get, promotion price, obviously. And there could be a technical issues. Probably, why I cannot log in, or the password doesn't work, or how do I get into this community? Maybe there's some mistake in the dating of some sort, so forgive me for that. Okay, sometimes I make some of the technical mistakes. Just let me know, email me, okay, and then I'll try to fix that. I think everything should be all right. I think should be all smooth, but again, you never know. And I'm doing everything all by myself. I mean, the slides, then the checkout payment system, and the emails, the automate emails, and the community. I did everything by myself. So, yeah. So please understand if there's any technical issues, just email me, okay? And then I'll try to fix that. All right. That's it. That's all I got. 50 minutes, right? See, there you go. Told you. It's not gonna be more than an hour. 1 hour tops. Do you help every, okay, so I'm gonna do you help every individual to frame, oh sorry, I clicked the wrong from one. There you go. Milan asks, do you help every individual to frame the answer? Yes, inside the community. Inside the community, you can keep asking any questions you may have. I will answer that related to the Match with One interview. So you're in the exclusive group for $300, and I will support you throughout the interview season. My dedication again is 30 minutes. I'm gonna put 30 minutes at least from Monday to Friday to answer your question. If there's not a lot inside the group, then I can actually put more time to it to answer the question inside the app. But yeah, that's my answer to that. Okay, we have 10 minutes until 9. Um, so yeah, yeah, we can be done at 9. All right. Any other question? Well, the thing is, because this is streaming, I'm sure there are people who watch it from the beginning and haven't arrived in here yet. So I don't actually receive a live question necessarily. It's unlike Zoom, but I figure if I use Zoom, it could be very, very laggy because you're probably not located in the US. That's one reason. Um, I've been considering to use Zoom, and also I have to pay for Zoom. This one I don't have to pay. Instead, I get ads and probably get some money. I don't turn monetization for this. I didn't turn ads. I think it's gonna be very disrupting. I'm gonna turn ads afterwards as the recording. Okay. If we got an interview, can you help with the specific program information, like how to find the perfect answer for why you applied to this program? Yes, yes, I can give you the specific answer if you are in the exclusive Match with One interview community. If not, I can't help you with that. Yeah, but I can help you with this, definitely. Yeah, you join the community, and then you ask that question, because I need to know what program you're applying to, and then so I can go and then look up the website, etc., and then try to help to answer you. So yeah, yeah. Finish. The in-person rotation of maximum 7 days. Is there any way to increase the durations to work with you? The answer. Okay, so Abhinesh, the this is what happened. Actually, I shouldn't say my I shouldn't say my employer. I will say the institution. Okay, I'm not allowed to mention the brand. So, my institution recently allowed to increase the beyond 7 days. It could be 2 weeks, but there is a but there. There is some kind of form that you have to fill in, and you have to go through the HR. So I did talk to my senior, and she mentioned that, well, we don't know how's that process yet. So for now, it's going to be just 1 week. So it's probably going to change next year. Not going to change this year, next year. The thing is, if you associate with school, then it will be easy. I mean, I will have a PA that will rotate with me in November. That will be the whole month. But because the PA is associated, like have a contract with my institution, and then so they can do a whole month, you see. So you guys are international students. It's possible, but there is some process that you have to go through in order for you to get that. But we haven't really figured it out yet, and then my senior hasn't really figured that out yet. So for now, it's only 1 week. But yeah, it could be increased, but that's gonna be for next year. Read today's topic. I heard that when making final rank order list, program has scores for everything from step scores to research to interview performance comments. That is actually true. That is actually true. They will put on that scoring. So that was actually makes me going back and forth. Well, isn't that consider everything, right? In order for them to match someone, right? But at the end of the days, you see, the thing is, the one that you're gonna be comparable. you're still going to be comparable, especially if we talk about matching with small number of interviews, right? You're going to be comparable because you're going to be invited to the program. If you don't have a lot of interviews, then you're not as competitive. If you're not as competitive, you're being invited to an interview, you're being invited to a program that is not as competitive. So all the qualification for the other people is pretty similar with you. Yeah, they will count everything, but the number will be very similar. And what's the determining factor? The interview. And as you can see in the program director survey, number 1, 2, 3, 4, all related to the interpersonal skills. And that's related to the delivery that I mentioned, right? Because the delivery is the one that plays into the emotion of the interviewer, the subjective emotion, and make them feel like ranking you high. And then they give you a higher number because thanks to that. The other numbers, yes, they count that, but it's going to be comparable. Yeah. Oops. Oops. Hold on. I think I miss a question. Okay. I'm asking about framing in regular offer. Oh, yes. I will teach you all the frameworks. I will teach you all the frameworks, but not specific or personalized to, for example, every program, because I don't know what program you're going to apply to, right? You could be applying for the pediatric, but it doesn't. The framework will work for any kind of applicants because it's frameworks, it's concepts, and then you can always frame that. It will make sense when you, after the complete all 3 days, everything will come together and it will all make sense. Yeah, it will apply regardless. But if you want to get more personalized, like this for this specific program, what would be the best answer? Now that that you have to jump into the exclusive offer to get into the community to get my feedback on it. I've been nice to ask me 7 days are more than enough. The amount of information you get in 7 days is way better than from any other rotation I do. Oh, thank you so much, Angie. Thank you. You are very welcome. Thank you for that. Very nice comment. Hello, doctor. I will be applying next match cycle. Can I join this offer and be member till next year? I would say yes. Yeah, I would say yes. Why not? Mm-hmm. And I will keep you in the community. Yeah, why not? Thanks. That makes sense. Yes. Thank you. All right. 3 more minutes. Welcome. If there's any more question in 3 minutes. Otherwise, you can email me. Yeah. Good. You're welcome, Rizwan. Okay. All right. I'll wait for another 3 minutes. Surprising that my kid hasn't wake up yet. Yeah. Usually he will be running around over here, throwing around. No bloopers today. Sita, it's a paid session. $97 if you want to join those 3 days. Okay, 2 more minutes. Mhm. I'm very excited for next week. This is the first time I'm going to teach um, the interview prep of everything that's really unique. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Again, it's an hour each. Um, the second day probably a little bit over 1 hour. It's gonna be long. Going through the frameworks for every question is gonna be pretty long. Um, um, Ravin said, would the 3 day session come with the previous USC subscribers? Um, I'm not sure what you meant by that. Um, Maybe are you saying if you have the prep course? No, it's separate. Yeah, it's a separate offer. Oh, because $97 is, I think, is still a steal. Yeah. one more minute. All right. So after this, if there is any technical issues, email me, okay? Because again, I did everything by myself, so hopefully I don't screw up the dates or some sort. I looked it up yesterday on the automate emails, and I still put the previous dates and like early September for the for the 3 days live, and try to fix that. And it's just a little things, yeah. Does the premium subscription include the 3 day? Of course, yeah. You got the 3 days with that. Yeah, of course. It's included. Yeah. It's the premium. That's why you call the premium offer. You got those 3 days and you get an extra. Oh, I almost forgot one more thing. The the comprehensive communication and the personal skills will come later on. Okay, I created those videos. I haven't edited yet, and I haven't put it in Kajabi. So it will come later, all right? And it's not like you really need that immediately anyway. Um, yeah, so it will come later. We're gonna go through the match we want interview first, and then I will upload the rest, the comprehensive communication to personal skills. So please don't expect that once you purchase it, you have the whole comprehensive communication to personal skills modules and all of those. So no, you're not gonna receive all those right away. We're gonna do those 3 days live next week. I'll upload it, and then so it's gonna be part of it, part of the course. And then after that, then I will upload the rest of the modules later. So okay, just letting you know, I don't want you to misunderstand that. Oh, okay, I got the comprehensive communication to personal skills course right away. Yeah, the live session would be 7 p.m. Yeah, 7 p.m. EST on Friday, 8 a.m. EST, and 8 on Saturday and Sunday. So there is, okay, I'm just gonna let you know because it seems like people are gonna get, oh, I probably can't do that. There will be recording, but not lifetime recording. The recording would last for 24 hours. Okay, I should say that. I'm sorry about that. The recording will last for 24 hours. I'll send you that recording. But after the 24 hours on that day, then we move on the next day. And then I have the recording for that day. I upload it for 24. I stay for 24 hours, take it out, and then the next day, and so on. Okay. That the one that with the premium offer will have that lifetime. They can always come back and then review them. All right. Sorry. Yeah. That's I should have made that clear. Yes, Sita. So Sita, they will be recording for 24 hours. So even if you cannot join it live, you should be able to watch it. If you got the regular offer, if you premium offer, you don't have to worry about it. That's a good question. Thank you so much, Rajesh. Thank you so much, Rajesh. That's a good question. Yeah. Yep. Mhm. It makes sense because not a lot of people can be able would be able to join live at that. And I'm pretty sure you have a 24-hour to watch it maybe. Yeah, same flying back on that day. Yeah. So you have 24 hours. All right, 4 minutes after 9. If you have any more questions, you can email me. I try to answer it sooner than later. There are a lot of things that I need to do after this because I have to change that link and prepare for next week. All those. Okay. Well, thank you so much for the session, guys. This is probably one of the most active active participants that I ever have. Maybe one of the reasons because a lot of you have rotated with me, so we got a lot of active interactions. So appreciate that. Thank you for the amazing session, and I hope I'll see you again next week. Okay, bye. Oh, which question? Oh, okay. Hold on. I missed one question. Sorry, Puja. Will you also send the link for payment for both offers on email? Yes, yes, yes. Have sent the email. I'm probably gonna send it again after this. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Bye now. Take care. Have a good rest of your day.